Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 27 of NEPA Story. And today I'm so excited to introduce you to Niki Winters, who's the founder of Niki Winters Photography, who is a family photographer and NEPA. Thank you so much, Nikki, for joining us today. I'm super excited to have you.
You for having me. This is so exciting.
Definitely. But of course, you recently kind of got into photography. You were a teacher during COVID, then you kind of switched over. But what kind of got you into photography? Because I know you were a very artistic person.
I mean, like you said, I was always into art. As you could see, like this is some of my artwork. So I've been an artist, I think, since a child. I consider myself very into that. The other thing was photography. So as a child, I was very enamored by people's photographs, their photo album. I went right to, I was gravitated toward, love looking at pictures of people from the past, loved how time just froze and you got to see what were people wearing, facial expressions. So I was first really into looking at photos. And then I think it was about a senior when I got my first point and shoot camera. And I would take pictures of my friends. And then I got really into still life, things that people really didn't notice. I love kind of like creepy buildings. And I love taking photographs of cemeteries and just very an artistic eye. Then I became a teacher, and a lot of my clients were families that saw the photos I was taking of their children in the classroom learning, and it just kind of sprung from there. So now I really just want to recapture the photos that I loved looking at, for you to have like your time just frozen, your babies as babies, and a loved one that might soon pass away. You have a memory of them forever. So that's kind of how it just started for me.
Ooh, like as someone who's also I'm not the most artistic person ever in terms of drawing, but I always grew up looking at photo albums. When I'm at like my aunt's grandma's house or something, whenever there's a photo album, I'll always read it the first time I look
Yes.
at it. So I don't know why, but I was always so intrigued looking at different photos from when maybe I was younger or my relatives or just random people that I never even
Yes, random
knew
people. I
of.
love looking at random people's photographs.
I know. Once I see 'em, I'm like, "Oh, who's this? Like, who are these photos of?"
And
Like,
then you get a story behind you, ask questions because you don't know the story behind it. And people, it takes them right back to that moment. And that's what I'm all about, taking you back to that moment.
I know. I'm the same way because I love to take pictures. As a teenager, of course, everyone's so like intrigued of taking photos of memories or going out. Just love taking pictures of yourself, and that's kind of why I love photography. So, like when someone's like, "Can you take my picture?" I'm like, immediately, yes, please. Like,
That's
it's
awesome.
because I'm like, I don't know why, but I'm like, when I saw asked me to take a picture, I'm just like, yeah, let's get it
Yes,
rolling.
let's
Because I
do
don't know why,
this.
but I'm always like, if when I see pictures of people, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And when I see people taking ask me to take a picture, I'm just like, you picked the absolutely right
Yeah.
person.
Well, you're a great gift to people because when people are not taking your photo, you kind of get erased from time, like a snapshot of time.
I know, right? Which is crazy because of course I know a lot of people love to take photos of everything. And some people might be like, oh my God, why are you taking photos of everything you see? And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, who knows? Their kids might want to see and be like, oh, I want to go to this place or who
Yeah.
knows? It always, when you look at a picture, this reminds you of what that day was for you.
Yes, exactly.
Like, for example, maybe it's like the first day of when COVID happened. Like, what were you doing that day? Like, who knows? Like, I can't recall what I was doing that day because I can't even remember because it was just, I can't even remember what I did yesterday,
Oh,
honestly. How
okay.
for me 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what type of photography do you do in the area?
So, they tell you to niche down, and I'm going to tell you, I call myself a dopamine chaser. And all that means is that everything entices me pretty much. I love to go between families. So I do a lot of families at Christmas time. And then now I'm approaching seniors who are graduating, and I love doing cap and gown photos. And then once summer comes, I'm working all with seniors, and I just love being around seniors. They have so much joy about the upcoming year and so much positivity about their future. Then I also work with businesses. I do a lot with Beekeeper Daughter. She's a honey apiary. And I do a lot of product photography, and she loves to let me just do creative stuff. I do also like, the traditional white background for products, but she's just like, go crazy, let's get creative with this. So I can't really say that there's anything in particular that I just do. I kind of just do it all. And I love doing events,
Mhm.
a little bit of events, a little bit of weddings, just something to hit those dopamine levels on me. And I'm like, right on to the next thing.
Mhm, yeah, there's always I know, and I know a lot of photographers love to do everything, and and it seems like you like to do everything as well, not just one specific thing. And of course, you always want to photograph and live in those moments because of course, if I was a photographer, I'd be like, book me for anything. I don't care if it's a wedding, I don't care if it's a party, I don't care if it's senior pictures. I'm like, more people I meet, more stories I
Yes.
hear, and more photos I get to share with people.
Yeah. And it's about connecting with people. I want to connect you on all different levels, not just bringing home that bundle baby of joy. I want to be there for every moment and document every moment that I can, because that energy, I'm feeding off of it and I'm living that moment with you. Might not be personal to me, but I'm still getting to enjoy those moments with you.
Yes, and as an upcoming senior, I know with a lot of seniors during the summer, they're always like, "Oh, who's gonna be my next photographer? Where am I gonna take photos at?" Like those senior things, that is honestly something I'm trying to figure out. Even though summer is on to a couple of months, it's like might as well plan ahead. Might as well start early. Like it's like when I think about senior pictures, I'm just like, "Gosh, help me right now!" Like as possible.
Well, now you know a girl.
Yeah, now I know someone, so if I need photographer, I know who to reach
Yeah.
out to. But what are kind of some like packages they offer with your
So
photography?
I do try to tailor the needs of people. We are entering a tough financial season for families. And I do believe that people have the right to be able to hire a good photographer based on your needs. So I try to offer different tiers. So if I have a senior package, I offer three different packages. And not only are they just meant for your financial status, but it's also about what you want. I mean, I have a lot of gentlemen clients for seniors who are like, get me in and get me out. So I'll offer like a 30-minute where, I promise the guy, I'm like, look, this is going to be simple and easy. Whereas a lot of times with females, I offer more of a luxury package for them where it's multiple outfits, multiple locations. The same applies to families. You might have little kids where it's like, we just want as a little as we can because I don't want to spend the whole time fighting with my kid. So I offer like the mini, the mid, and the luxury package with them. Same thing with weddings. Again, it's all tiered towards the client's needs on time and what they're just looking for.
Ooh, so I know with little kids, I remember when I was younger, I would never sit still. So I know with having little kids, it's like I just want to get out of here as quick as possible.
Yeah, and I'm a mother. I have a 2-year-old, and even the 15-minute mini sessions with other photographers are difficult because 15 minutes to get my wild, rambunctious child to sit anywhere is not capable. And after 15 minutes, I'm done. And I'm a photographer, and I don't want anything more than 15 minutes with my child.
I mean, I was
So
like, just
I'm
give me
trying.
10, 15 minutes, then you're set. All the stress is gone. Just
Yes,
send me the photos and I go make my kids sit still. It's all set.
yes, yeah.
But like how do you select different places to shoot as a photographer? Do you choose the places or do you let your clients choose?
So I have my go-to places. And the reason why it's really important to listen to your photographer when they have go-to places, they have scoped out the place. They know how the light hits, how the light plays against the foliage. Even seasonally, I will choose different places based on seasons. So for me, I really try to hone down with the client. These are my favorite places. A lot of times they'll look at my past photos and they say, I really like how this light plays. I said, that's because that was a sunset photo, or that was in the middle of the daytime, but we still have to work with foliage. How are the trees? Are they fully in bloom? Are they not? So it is definitely, I listen to them, what they're looking for. Sometimes they do have their own location. I'll scope it out and then I'll give my expertise on, hey, this is not a great place at this time, but we could still make it work at this time. Some of them just say, hey, you're the expert. Tell me where to go. I just kind of like this look. So it's a collaboration with the clients depending on, their vision.
Yeah, like I'm now curious, like what is your go-to places? Is that someone who's looking for
Ooh,
places? Like, say, I'm
Yeah.
just like, I need some helpful places.
So my absolute favorite, and I feel like it's a little bit of a quiet gem, is called Moon Lake State Park.
Mm,
And it was a state park. I went there as a child, and um, I think I think the state took it over now. And what they kind of do there is they let the natural like trees and the shrubs, everything that's growing there, they let it grow naturally. So it
mm.
doesn't have a very polished, tailored look. It doesn't look unruly, but I like it because they don't keep it so nice and neat. I also like it because I just love how the sunlight lays across the land. You get some really crazy clouds form in the background. And the other reason why I love it is very quiet. Not a lot of people go. You're not like you're not elbow to elbow with other people. Families can come and they could just let their kids run and they're not worried about a car or bothering other people. You're not fighting with other people, not fighting, but you're not sharing a space with other people. I have other places that I love to go, but they're always a hit and miss. Is it going to be crazy packed? Is it going to be busy? So Moon Lake is definitely my go-to place in the absolute world, even just to hang out there. I highly suggest people go there for a walk. You're going to love it.
Oh, I have to check that place out now. You have me very hooked. But where's this place at? Isn't it like Wilkes-Barre area or where's it?
Hunlock Creek off of Route, oh my goodness, 92 or 29. There's my dyslexia kicking in. But out in Hunlock Creek, yes,
I have to look at that place up
yes,
now. But
definitely.
how far ahead do you book up your sessions?
So, oh goodness. If it's a wedding, people already know their date and they're ready to book with the photographer, the moment they find out their date. And usually weddings are a year in advance, they'll be talking to you. Um, I always tell people if they're looking for fall Christmas sessions, those are the busiest time for any photographer. I would highly suggest, with me at least. I mean, other photographers are different. Early summer, start talking to me about those things. But then sometimes it could just be like in, 2 weeks, someone's like, hey, I have family coming in, and we would really like to get some photos. Are you available in 2 weeks? So it's kind of like a range. Other photographers that might be a little more busy, book out a lot sooner than I do, and that like, book out ways ahead than I do.
Interesting. Because I know with a lot of photographers, they're like, "Oh, we need to." I go as far as I can book is next year. Like I know a lot of people now like to go 2 weeks in advance, like
Yeah.
or because I know it's like, okay, this is like
Yeah.
early. Like, how am I
Yeah.
supposed to, get everything together in two
Yeah.
weeks?
Yeah. Well,
I
I'm a
know.
I fly by the seat of my pants. I was an educator for 15 years, which meant I could have everything beautifully planned out and things are thrown at you. And I'm well equipped for someone to be like, yep, 2 weeks, got it. We can make this happen. Don't you worry.
That makes it like less easier since you were a teacher. So it makes it less stressful since worked with kids and stuff. So it's just like 2 weeks is not a problem. I was a teacher, so this
And
is a less stress.
yeah, and with me, I don't work with a lot of props. I like to showcase emotion and interaction in my photos. So for other photographers that do use a lot of props, they definitely need more time to, work with the vision and gather their stuff and set it up and play with the lights. Or with me is you are my prop. You are the focus. We just want you to interact with whomever's in the photos. And that's all that matters to me.
Definitely. And what do you have a favorite session that you've done? Or I know this is a hard one, or I'm sure you did tons, but do you have one that kind of sticks out to you the most?
Oh man, it's hard because every time I walk into it, it is just feeding off some really, really good energy for the most part. I think recently I've been working with this couple that are um, that are pregnant, and they wanted to do a pregnancy reveal, and then they want to do a gender reveal, and next they want to do a maternity reveal. I mean, the mother is just so elated about this baby that
Mhm.
she wants to document everything. And I'm just like feeding off of her happiness. Everything about this pregnancy is just so amazing that I keep telling time we do a session, I'm like, you are my favorite people to photograph because you're positive, you're happy, you just have so much joy. So right now I'm really feeding off this one couple and their journey to parenthood.
Ooh, like honestly, my sister's the same way, but she has a 3-year-old and Oh my God, it's like I forget how much, but she had a baby in September of last year, about
Okay.
month. But
I'm
she had
bad at
a baby,
counting.
yeah, like who's counting? She
Yeah.
had a baby back in September, same birthday as me, born the
Okay.
same day, which is crazy to me. But I remember like when she was having both like maternity and stuff, both for both kids. I'm just like, oh my God, how is someone so happy when they're hormones and they're pregnant? Like, how is someone so happy? Like, if I was her, I'd be like, I'm miserable. Like,
Yes.
because I
Yes.
know a lot of people can be depending on, I know every person's different. Some people might be miserable with being sick, or some person's like, I'm the happiest person
Yeah.
I ever
And I
know.
want to be around people like that. Just love people's high energy. I absorb it, I take it in. And like on the flip side, when people are down, I kind of take that energy too. So that's why I'm really like really enjoying this couple because they just are so happy.
Which is so rare. Like I know it's some people their whole pregnancy they're like, oh gosh, here we go. I just want the 9 months to be over. But
That
I
was
love
me.
how they're just so positive during the whole time. Because that's very rare for people to be happy and energetic the whole 9 months.
Yes.
But before we wrap up, I want to ask you, like, how can people book you or check your photography and everything out?
So you can reach out to me on my Facebook, which is Nikki Winters Photography. I'm also on Instagram, Nikki Winters Photography. That's the best way to reach me. And then from there, we exchange numbers and our conversation continues. My email is also on those sites as well. It's another way for people to chat with me. But I'm really, really into personal connection and having honest conversations with people and not just hiding behind a keyboard and a computer screen. I really want to connect with people. And that's what you get when you work with me is a true human connection. So it starts on social media, but it ends with personal one-on-one conversations.
For sure. I love it. So I know who to book when I'm looking for
Yeah.
photographers for my senior sections during the summer. But thank you so much, Nikki, for joining
No,
us today. I really appreciate it. I'm literally obsessed with pictures. I'm just like, oh my gosh, here we
I
go.
really appreciate what you're doing. Your word name is getting out. I love seeing all the people that you are connecting with. You're like me on a different, well, just a different platform. I like
Mhm.
connecting people through photography. You like connecting people with talking to them, interviewing. So I'm really loving what you're doing right now.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. And thank you everyone for listening, wherever you are, NEPA or somewhere outside of Pennsylvania. I really appreciate everyone for listening and for sure book Nikki for any event that you're looking to do. But I really appreciate everyone joining and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.